It was the kind of sound that sliced through a sleeping neighborhood. A metallic creak, then a faint click like a trigger being pulled. The garage door rolled up, slow and smooth, until a voice cut from the shadows. "Step 1 inch closer to that car, and I'll turn you into Swiss cheese." The garage light snapped on, revealing my 80-year-old grandmother Rose in a faded denim jacket crouched behind a toolbox, her double-barrel shotgun aimed dead center. The intruder was Karen, our HOA vice president, crowbar in one hand, mouth hanging open like she'd seen a ghost. This wasn't a random break-in. This was a heist weeks in the making, and Grandma Rose was about to become a legend. 2 months ago, Karen slithered onto the HOA board with tape measures, violation slips, and a bizarre obsession with uniformity. It started small. Dad got a warning for grass 2 inches too tall, then a notice to repaint our mailbox, HOA approved beige. We laughed until Karen fixated on our 1967 Mustang, my late grandfather's pride and joy, lovingly restored and now cared for by Dad and me. One afternoon, garage door open, she spotted it. "Visually disruptive," she sneered. "Doesn't meet the community aesthetic." Whatever that meant. We thought she was just a nuisance until she showed up uninvited, clipboard in hand, sunglasses perched high, demanding to inspect the garage under a vehicle ordinance clause. I asked what that was. She smirked, saying it gave her the right to evaluate non-conforming property features. Dad nearly choked on his coffee. We refused entry, but days later, a letter arrived. Move the Mustang off-site or face penalties. Absurd. That car had been here longer than half the block's houses. Grandma Rose didn't laugh like Dad. She sat in her porch rocking chair, eyes narrowed as Karen strolled by. Rose wasn't your average granny. Raised on a cattle ranch, widowed young, she'd raised 2 sons with grit and a revolver under her pillow. After reading the HOA letter, she ran her fingers along the Mustang's hood and said, "This woman's got thief eyes. She wants that car." We called her paranoid until the backyard motion sensor started tripping at night. A raccoon, we figured, until we found a broken gate latch and scuff marks on the fence. A neighbor saw someone with a flashlight sneaking around. That's when Grandma moved into the garage. Cot, radio, thermos, and her Remington shotgun. "I don't trust paperwork or her," she said when I asked if she was serious. Karen escalated, filing a complaint claiming the Mustang was illegally modified under a non-existent bylaw. Dad stormed the next HOA meeting with ownership receipts, but Karen smirked, calling us emotional. The board president stayed neutral, but Karen had sway. One member asked if the Mustang was for sale, making Grandma's eyes narrow to slits. We fortified the garage, new locks, reinforced panels, motion cameras, an alarm linked to my phone. Grandma insisted on sleeping there anyway. "I've got a feeling," she said. We went to bed uneasy, not expecting trouble so soon. At 2:38 a.m., my phone buzzed. Garage sensor trip. Movement detected. Heart pounding, I bolted downstairs as a metallic screech echoed, the garage door being pried open. Outside, the scene was electric. Karen, in a black hoodie, gloves, and crowbar, halfway inside. 5 feet away, Grandma, steady behind the tool bench, shotgun unwavering. "Touch that Mustang, and they'll pull buckshot from your backside for a month," she said. Karen screamed, dropping the crowbar, babbling about protecting community property. Grandma waved the barrel toward a crate. "Sit." Karen sat. Police arrived 7 minutes later, alerted by the security company. They found Karen on the crate, Grandma like a statue, and Dad fuming at the damaged garage panel. In Karen's car, zip ties, gloves, a fake HOA seizure form signed by Karen, and a key fob for garage doors. Premeditated, plain and simple. As Karen sat handcuffed in the squad car, Grandma sipped her thermos tea and muttered, "Amateurs." We posted the garage footage online the next day. It exploded. Grandma's "Try me, sweetheart" became a meme, Karen's face plastered on talk shows and radio. A security company offered Grandma a brand deal. She declined, joking it needed buckshot and a baseball bat. The sheriff's office confirmed Rose was within her rights, defending her property during a break-in. But this wasn't just one night. Neighbours shared stories. Fines for porch chair colours, a kid's bike left out, even a lawn's shadow. Public records showed Karen's past. 2 HOA neighbourhoods where she'd served on boards and left under uncertain circumstances. A man from one said his Thunderbird vanished after a board-mandated tow, never recovered. This wasn't a power trip. It was a hustle. A phone call changed everything. Frank Delaney, a retired detective 2 states over, saw our video and nearly dropped his sandwich. He'd investigated similar HOA-linked car thefts 6 years ago with Karen's name in the files, but no proof. Until now. He arrived with a briefcase of documents showing a pattern. Karen targeted classic cars, piled on violations, and arranged tows. Her cousin's repo company lost the cars, likely reselling them. Our Mustang wasn't the first, but we were the loudest. With Frank's help, we built a case for the district attorney, charging Karen with attempted grand theft, trespassing, and falsifying documents. Neighbours came forward. Mrs. Alvarez said Karen got her '69 Camaro towed over an unsightly tarp. The tow address didn't exist. The car was gone. Furious, Grandma proposed a classic car rally to expose Karen publicly. Within 48 hours, flyers spread, and the neighbourhood buzzed. The rally was a retro dream. Mustangs, Camaros, Chargers gleaming down the block. Kids wore "Try Me, Sweetheart" shirts. News vans rolled in. Dad spoke of the Mustang's legacy. Frank shared forged documents, and Grandma gave a speech. If you think this is about one car, think again. We're not afraid of clipboards and khakis. The crowd roared. A week later, a leaked email showed Karen plotting to target high-value cars for HOA benefit. The board crumbled. President Wallace resigned, then turned whistleblower, revealing Karen's fake bylaws and threats to silence board members. His emails and recordings made the case bulletproof. The DA launched a statewide HOA fraud task force, and Karen's cousin faced stolen property charges. The courtroom was packed. Neighbours, victims from Karen's old haunts, signs reading, "Justice for the Classics." Frank laid out Karen's 3-state trail of vanished cars. Wallace exposed her manipulation. The garage footage, with Karen's shriek and Grandma's line, silenced the room. Karen took the stand, claiming she was misunderstood and feared for her life. Grandma stood, asked to speak, and gutted her. The truth walks into its own trap. "This car's my husband's memory, not your paycheck." She held up a thumb drive of Karen's petty complaints, sidewalk chalk, lemonade stands, drawing gasps and applause. The jury took 2 hours. Guilty. Attempted grand theft, falsifying documents, trespassing, abuse of authority. Karen got 5 years, fines and restitution to victims, including Mrs. Alvarez. The judge pushed for broader HOA investigations. Karen's cousin faced worse. Outside, Grandma told reporters, "I just protected what's mine." Scared? "Son, I've faced mountain lions with a broom. A crook in a hoodie's nothing." The neighbourhood changed. New bylaws, a resident oversight committee, and real community spirit emerged. Neighbours painted fences, shared tools, laughed about the shotgun showdown. Karen vanished, reportedly in a city condo, her HOA days over. We put a plaque above the garage, "Protected by Rose." The Mustang shone every Saturday, a family ritual. For Grandma's 81st, we surprised her with a 1955 Chevy Bel Air, the car she learned to drive on her dad's ranch. She ran her hand over the hood, eyes misty, and said, "Well, damn, boys, I'll need a bigger shotgun." At the barbecue that night, with sparklers and 60s tunes, Grandma set a rule for anyone riding shotgun: spot a liar from 50 feet. Karen was gone, her scheme crushed. But passing the Mustang and Bel Air, we remembered, legacy can't be towed away. When asked what saved our neighbourhood, I'd say it wasn't the law or cameras. It was an 80-year-old woman with a shotgun, a spine of steel, and zero patience for bullies. Thank God for Grandma Rose.